I'm Jacob Cervino, and welcome to my video about topo maps, also called topographic maps. Today you're going to learn how to read one of these. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. The interesting thing about maps is that they come in all different varieties. Like these maps, for example, are 8.5 by 11 sheets that are designed to show very extreme details of very small areas. Whereas this map is designed to show you general details of a very large area, like the Bay Area. Also, you can notice that these maps' colors are very dulled, and there's a lot of gray in them. Whereas this map has very bright greens, and you can see everything clearly. Now you have to choose the right map for you and what you are doing. Alright, the next thing that you're going to learn about is the key, or the legend. Now, the legend is normally in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, and it shows all the things that you need to know about, like what the lines, colors, and symbols mean. Now, in a map like this, the items from the key are all along the outside edge. So it's easier to have them consolidated, like in a map like this. Now, let's take a closer look. Alright, so on this map you can see that the legend goes all around the outside edge. Now, at the bottom here, we have a series of trails. And there's the hikers, horses, and bike trail, which is shown by a series of long black dashes. And the unmaintained trail for hikers only, which is shown by a series of red dots. Now, both those trails can be found over here by Bloodsucker Lake. And the trail for only hikers that's unmaintained goes across here, kind of like a shortcut, as opposed to the hikers, bikes, and horses, which goes around and kind of loops like that. Now, there's also a series of different symbols which indicate points of interest, such as the campground symbol, which is shown by a black square with a tent symbol inside of it. And there's a picnic area symbol that has a picnic bench on a red background. Now, over here by Wright's Lake, you can find both of those. There's actually two campgrounds on different sides of the lake, and there's one picnic area which is right on the water's edge. So another important thing on the map is the contour lines. And the contour lines show the space that you have to travel horizontally to get to a certain vertical height. Now that certain vertical height is called the contour interval. And let's just say that our contour interval is 20 feet. And so there probably would be a contour line right around here. And the next contour line would end up being on that hillside right above those trees. And the distance that you have to travel to get from this contour line to that contour line is pretty far, just to get up 20 feet. So on a map, it would end up being pretty far apart. But it's not the case for the next set, because watch. The next contour line would end up being on that ridge of the rocky outcrop way up there on the hillside. And the distance that you have to travel from the base of the hill to the outcrop is not very far horizontally. You're mostly traveling vertically. So on the map, the contour lines would be pretty close together. And it's the same thing for the next set, because the rocky outcrop up to the base of those bushes up there is another 20 feet. But again, it's not very much horizontally, it's mostly vertical. So they'd also end up being pretty close together. Get the idea? Just to make sure, let's take another look at the map. Alright, so here we are back at the map. And as you can notice here, the contour lines are marked in brown. And over here on the legend that goes around the edge, it says that the contour interval is 40 feet. So that means that between these contour lines, it's 40 feet high, and then another 40 feet, and another 40 feet. It's getting pretty high. But, as you'd also notice, there's light and dark brown lines. The dark brown lines appear every 200 vertical feet. Now, say that you're over around here somewhere. there's not many close contour lines, and right around here it's a pretty open, flat area. But, as you get up here, look, it gets real tight and steep. See, the contour lines are pretty much touching each other right down there. And it just so happens that right over here is a four-wheel drive road. And if you were driving along, just cruising down here, it would be pretty easy driving. But then you take a right at the fork and you come up, it's getting pretty steep. And you come and come and it keeps getting closer and closer, and your vehicle breaks down. And now you're lost in the mountain. What do? Well, take a look at your map, and you'll find these blue, or most of the time they're blue, but they're grid lines. And that leads us to our next subject. The grid is a set of imaginary lines that cover Earth's surface. And there's lines of longitude and there's lines of latitude. The lines of latitude go horizontally like a ladder, and the lines of longitude go vertically like this. On this map, the grid lines are shown in blue. And at the end of each grid line, there's a numerical value and a degree value. And those values show how far you are north and south of the equator and how far east and west you are of the prime meridian. And using those values and a GPS, a compass, and a coordinate scale, you can find your exact location on the map. Using your newfound knowledge of maps, you can find the trail that's just right for you. Say, for example, you want to have a nice, easy day hike, and you want to have a good picnic along the way. Well, you want your trail to be not too long, but not too short. So, you're going to look for a trail that has the right distance, and you can find the distance by looking at the numerical value on the map next to the trail. It'll show the distance between 2 points on the map in miles or kilometers. Also, you want your trail to be an easy hike, not too steep or strenuous, so you don't want it to cross too many close contour lines. Next, you want to have a nice quiet trail, so you don't want the trail to be too close to a road, and you don't want it to allow bikes, horses, or ATVs. And lastly, you want your trail to have a picnic area, obviously, so you can enjoy that nice sandwich that you packed. Well, thanks for coming. I hope this has been helpful. Now let me finish this trail that I picked out myself. See you soon. Bye. Okay, so we made this giant map just for the close-ups in the video, and it took like an hour and a half to make, so I just really hope that it was helpful for the video, for your learning experience.